We interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With
John.
ready in his chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
Laura stating the obvious in the chat that John, once again, not here. John's busy. John's got other stuff to do. He'll be here. He'll be here in like an hour. He told me yesterday, he was like, I'm gonna be late. Like, I already fucking know you're gonna be late. It's all good, dude. Don't worry about it. I know you got other responsibilities outside of here. But, you know, I ain't gonna fire him over it. You know, like, what am I gonna do? He's good, no one type any. Yeah, well, I mean, joke's on you, Laura, because I came in here with stuff to talk about. So, I'm just gonna, but I'm gonna waste time until we see more people in the chat, I think. So, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I know that was last week, but we weren't here. I was, well, John was at where he's at right now, and I was at Tudor Lounge. We're gonna start by talking about that, and we're gonna build up to, like, today, because it's been a crazy fucking week for me. I actually had my very first experience at a Buffalo Bills game this year. I've never, in my entire life, I've lived in Western New York since I was born. I've barely ever even been out of Western New York. I've spent maybe a total of like 2 weeks, like out of town, like not like staying out of town. And I've never been to a Buffalo Bills game. Hey, Max, Barbecue King. Yeah, okay. yeah. But yeah, so I that was the thing I did this past week. I went to my very first Buffalo Bills game. I went to a Sabres game this week. I went to Thanksgiving dinner. It's been a heck of a kind of a week. So yeah, a week ago I was right now I was on my way to Tudor Lounge. Where Bastard, and XM Priory and Broken Locker all put on a great show. But POTUS XXX was a special guest on that show and did a 15-minute little presentation there that I've since put up on YouTube and shared, and that's out there. So you can go watch that on the Stupid 5-Pin YouTube channel. But yeah, that was entertaining. I was choking to death on the fucking fake snow from the POTUS XXX thing. Like 15 minutes that everyone there will never get back. Yes, absolutely. I was choking on that fucking fake snow, as was Chris at the sound booth. Which I didn't even like. It didn't bother me until I looked at Chris, and Chris has got his shirt up over his face like this, you know. And I'm just like, I turned back around, and all of a sudden I'm breathing this shit in, and I'm like, oh, damn, like, I see why he's got his shirt up over his face. Like, I can't fucking breathe right now, so I had to put my shirt over my face. And Chris is just glaring. Chris is sitting at the booth, like, with his look on his face like this, like, you know, like, these kids better clean this shit up, you know, like, and I'm just like, oh man, like, I know they're gonna clean it up, but like, yeah, Chris is just glaring at them, and I'm like, he's not happy right now, especially because like we were watching the Sabres game, and the Sabres just could not fucking score in that game. Ended up losing like 1-0, I think was the final, but yeah, Chris looked pretty angry during that. But when I talked to him about it, he's like, yeah, you know, I just, oh man, yeah, that stuff was, I didn't like that foam stuff. That was noxious, you know? But it is what it is. So after the show, like, so Tudor got double booked, inadvertently. And so right after XM Priory finishes, there's a DJ setting up on stage, and all these like 20 somethings are coming to the bar. And like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna go home now. And I probably could have caught a bus, but I'm like, yeah, screw it. I'll just, yeah, you know, it's a $10, $15 Uber ride. Let me get Uber. And Leland from Bastard waited outside with me, and we're just sitting there for like 15 minutes. My Uber driver's literally around the corner. He's on Chippewa, and he's trying to turn up Franklin towards Tupper, where I am. I'm on Franklin and Tupper in front of Tudor Lounge. So we're just watching the app and just watching this guy inch closer, and it's like you know, he's 900 feet away, he's 850 feet away, he's 800, and it's just, oh man, like, and Leland and I are just sitting here watching what's going on at the corner of Franklin and Tupper, which is, there's a fire truck, and that's blocking traffic. Then there's people, you know, trying to turn through a red light, that's blocking traffic. Then there's a guy sitting at the light just talking to somebody outside the car through a whole light cycle. We're just sitting here like, man, no wonder it's taking this dude so long. And there's like, but like once the dude gets to me, there's no traffic, there's nothing. And it took him 15 minutes to get around the corner to get to me and get down to, and get me in and drive me home. And it was the most ridiculous thing. And he's so apologetic. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, it's not your fault. We're literally watching all the traffic that's stopping you from getting to me. Like, you got nothing to apologize for. And then somebody darts in front of him with a bike, and I'm not paying attention to this point. I got my phone in my hand. I'm sitting here. I don't know if I was like texting my mom no, I wasn't texting my mom that late at night. I don't know. I had my phone in my hand. And next thing I know, I'm inertia taking me forward. You know, I almost crash into the front seat. Oh, I'm so sorry. But I looked up, I saw there was a bike just darted in front of him. That's why, like, Wednesday, before I even went out, I'm like, look, biggest drinking night of the year. Everybody fucking be careful out there. We don't, you know, we want to celebrate with all of you tomorrow, you know? And, you know, dude got me home pretty safely. I gave him a good tip because, you know, it wasn't his fault that any of that shit happened. Laura wants to know, Joe, when you wake up, what's the first thing you do? Because she's asking me John questions. First thing I do is usually check my phone and see what time it is, and usually tell my wiretap device in my bedroom to let me sleep for 10 more minutes. Which I have to tell it several times because it just keeps going off, and I have to fucking yell at it, hey, you know, name of device, snooze. Yeah, I do that. That's usually the first thing. Or I shove my cat out of the way because my cat Reese takes up my entire fucking bed. Tiny cat, big bed, takes up the whole damn bed. I don't understand it at all. But that's usually the first thing I do. The first thing I did Thursday when I woke up was texting my mother, who had already texted me. I woke up at 8 a.m. because I'm like, I gotta, like, I was at Tudor, and I realized at like 10 o'clock that I didn't actually make plans with my family for Thanksgiving. Like, I knew I was going over there. I just didn't know what time. And the plan is usually I take the bus from Buffalo. I get to Niagara Falls. My parents pick me up. We go to their house. And then for the last number of years, they've driven me home, which, you know, I never asked them to do. They just do it. But this year my mom says, oh, you know, we're not going to drive you home this year. It's, you know, we got to drive all the way there, and then we got to drive all the way back. Max says, my cat attacks my feet in the morning and I have scratches all over my feet. That's usually how I wake up. No, my cat, like, when I get in bed, the first thing that happens is, like, I lay down, my cat comes walking right over and lays down, like, right here. And I gotta kind of shove her out of the way because, like, I'm trying to fucking play on my phone for a little bit before I go to sleep. Like you're in my way. And so yeah, that's usually my nightly routine, and then my morning routine is shoving her out of the way because she's still in my face. You know, gently, you know, not violently pushing the cat or anything. Yeah. So I text my mom Thursday. She'd already texted me Thanksgiving morning. And I'm like, well, I could get there at this time, or I could get there at this time. Oh, you know, come at the later time. Like, all right, cool. So I finish. I do some work, take a shower. I get all, trimmed up and ready to go. And I go, hop on the bus. I get downtown. I realize I got 50 fucking minutes to kill. Almost a fucking hour. 50 fucking minutes to kill at the bus station. What am I doing down here? What's open over in downtown Buffalo at, what was it, like 10 o'clock in the morning I was down there. What am I going to do to kill all this time? So I'm like, it's not too bad out. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to walk, I was thinking Canal Side because I'm right down there. But then I'm like, I start walking in that direction and I see somebody running towards, actually they were walking towards me and they had a turkey hat. It was a hat shaped like a turkey on their head. I was about to take my earbuds out and be like, oh, I like your hat. And then I realized like she also had a big piece of paper with a number on it. I'm like, oh shit, the turkey trot is happening right now. And I end up walking directly towards the turkey trot. So I'm seeing all the people running. I'm texting my mom. I'm joking, hey, do you think Josh Allen, if you think Josh Allen's running this thing, you think if I find him, I can convince him to throw the game since he's a lifelong 49ers fan like I am? Joking around. And my mom says, well, how long, are you on a bus right now? I said, no, I'm walking around downtown. I'm in the middle of the turkey trot here. She says, oh, because we just finished, the turkey's already ready. We finished way too early. Can you get here sooner? Like, no, the next bus isn't until, whatever time. So next thing you know, my phone rings. It's my stepdad calling from my mom's phone. He says, hey, how much is an Uber from where you're at? So I looked, I said, oh, it's like $50. He goes, okay, can we pay for that for you? I said, well, I don't, it's in my account. I'd have to put your card on my account. So no, I'd rather not, He says, well, how about you pay for it and your mother gives you cash when you get here? Oh, okay, sure. So so now I'm in downtown Buffalo. I'm like, let me find a spot where I'm not in the middle of the turkey trot, where the roads aren't closed off, and I will call for an Uber. So I get over to close to Mohawk Place, actually, and I shoot it. I go on Uber and I call for an Uber, and I get two guys cancel on me back to back because they're opening up oh, hey, I'm gonna take this job. Oh no, I'm not taking that job. That's too far. So then I get a third guy. My mom's texting me, oh, you in the Uber yet? Like, no, I'm still waiting. Guys cancel on me. This guy hasn't canceled on me yet. He's still on his way. I realize he's dropping somebody else off. So I'm like, he might not have even seen how far the ride is, though. So he gets to me and I get in the car. I'm like, dude, you know how far the ride is, right? Like, you're good. He says, yeah, no, this is only half an hour. We're not far. I'm like, okay, good. So get this Uber, nice guy, and good conversation the whole way from downtown Buffalo to my mother's house. And his GPS is trying to take him the wrong way, so I gotta be like, no, dude, you don't want to turn here. You can't get to there from there. You gotta go straight. Oh, but the GPS says, I know what the GPS says, bro, but you can't get there from there. Like, trust me, I'm gonna point you in the right direction here. So we get to my mom's house, and I tipped the guy, and how much was it? Okay, it was like just over $50, and I tipped him $12. And she goes, well, I'm paying for the ride. You pay for the tip. I said, okay. So, and then my kid came over. We had Thanksgiving dinner in the middle of the afternoon and watched some football. And my mom's team was on, I think, the Cowboys. And my mom's, oh, this guy singing at the football game, he's supposed to be country, but he's not country. And then the guy starts playing, and I'm like, this sounds like country to me, Mom. What was the guy? Shabuzi? I think was the guy's name. I have no idea. I don't know. I've never heard of the guy before, but my mom was talking about him at dinner, and then we're watching him on the football game later. I'm just like, this guy sounds country to me. I'm like, he's more country than some of these other acts out here calling themselves country artists. Not that I'm the country guy here. Like, I play Hurdle Decades every night, and I've gotten one country song right in the entire time I've been playing, and that was because the girl kept repeating the name of the song over and over again. But I say, no, this guy's more country than anything else. And my mom's like, oh, he's got a steel guitar. He's country, all right. And then I start listening to the lyrics. He goes, 1. Here comes the 1 to the 2 to the 3. Like, I'm like, wait a minute. I know this song. He's singing Right There by J. Cole or whoever the fuck that was, right? So Jay Quan. Somebody correct me in the comments. I don't know. You guys probably know that shit better than me, but I know that song. Right. No, it's not even Right There. It's Tipsy. He was doing tips. Right there is Chingy. We were hearing that in the car the other day. Tipsy. He's singing Tipsy. I'm like, I know this song. Wait a minute. And then it's like, oh, it's an interpolation of that. It's not actually a cover. Okay. Like okay, but it's cool because he's bringing like hip hop elements into country, but it still sounds country as opposed to like some of these other country artists out there today. I don't know. That's just me. I don't listen to country music, so yeah. Maximo don't know country either. Yeah, but I'm talking about the rap song though, like the rap song "Tipsy." Like, is that J. Cole? I don't. I'm gonna now it's gonna bug me. Let's find out. Oh, I was in the middle of listening to a podcast. I'm gonna have to come back to that later. Actually, I gotta rewind that podcast because I ran into my landlady outside when I was cleaning, and I ended up talking to her for a minute because I was telling her the story that I'm gonna tell you guys in a few minutes, which is my first Buffalo Bills game experience. Wikipedia. Let's see. I want Tipsy. Not today. Tipsy. Okay, Shaboozey is the name of the country star, and Jay Quan is the rapper that does the original song Tipsy. And this Shaboozey guy, his song is called A Bar Song, Tipsy. Which means if I'm trying to look for Bar Whore by the Living Brain Dead, there's a good chance that might be the song that comes on is A Bar Song by Shaboozey. And it's like, which is not even a ridiculous name, as ridiculous of a name as it sounds, because it's like part of, I think it's like his actual middle name. like, so it's a little less ridiculous when you know that that's actually like his name. He just spells it differently when he's performing. Were I listening to BWF? No. I didn't hear any of that because I'm trying to write a riff. Yeah. Fair enough, because like when I start writing shit, I'm not paying attention either. Was I listening to BWF? No, but I did see a former co-host this weekend, so we'll get to that too. Actually, that's the next day of the story. But yeah, I my mom once again, we're not driving you home, and they once again explained like it's too long of a drive home for us. It's not too long there. It's having to drive back. Like no problem, just drop me off at the bus stop. I'll get home. And I'm figuring Sunday's schedule, that's gonna suck, right? Hey, Mark. So my mom, they drop me off at the bus. I find out what time the bus is coming. They drop me off at the bus stop. They wait for me to get on the bus. They made sure I got home safe. And like, I'm just like, okay, how bad is this gonna suck when I get to Buffalo? How long do I have to wait to get home? Do I need to call an Uber? I get off the bus. It's like, your next bus is in 3 minutes. I'm like, shit, okay. It was really fucking easy to get home from my mom's house on Thanksgiving. I was pleasantly surprised. And then I got home and I was like, I'm going to watch wrestling. And then by 7 o'clock, I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to bed. Fucking food coma, man. That shit got me. And then, and also I discussed with my mother about my language on the podcast, because she said, I tune into that. I can't listen to that because I hear you swear. I don't swear. And my daughter's just like, yes, you do. Yeah. But then Friday, I'm like, screw it. I'm not doing anything. Because I had a show the next day. I didn't want to, I just literally did not want to, leave the house. I wanted to make sure I had everything ready for the show. My kid's texting me right now, actually. She wants to know if I got a lot of snow. I don't know. I got to look now. But yeah, yeah, I didn't do anything Friday, but my buddies texted me, hey, what's going on Friday night? Anything going on? Because I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. Like, I'm gonna be in Buffalo. Is there anything going on? I'm like, there ain't shit going on tonight, dude. Like, I looked up shit that was Scott is okay. I'm sure Scott is anti-swearing. Hi, Scott, if you're watching. You can pull the plug at any time now, or if you're listening, because we are available right now on all WNY radio. Scott can pull the plug at any time. Just, we'll still be on YouTube and Facebook, so who cares? We like being on all WNY. It's a great platform to be on. It's a great cause. It's exactly why, Scott and I's values align. Anyway, Friday night, I don't do shit. I talked to my friend. I'm like, yeah, this is what's going on tonight. I don't know, nothing. He's like, oh, but nothing you're going to. Like, nah, I got a show tomorrow, dude. Like, he's like, oh, of course you got a show on a Saturday. I'm like, it's also in Rochester, so you weren't coming anyway. So, so so Saturday, and also I thought I had to get up like super early Saturday because I thought John was gonna come get me and then go get the trailer, but John got the trailer without me. I'm proud of him. He did a good job. He got the trailer. Calls me up. He says, "Yeah, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you at 2, and then we're gonna go get Nick, and we're gonna get Jill." So John gets me 2 o'clock, and well, a little after 2 o'clock. It's light dusting of snow here, right? And so it's like, okay, it's not so bad. Easily drive the trailer through this. We get to Nick's house in Lackawanna. There's already an inch of snow on the ground, and we're like, oh, like it ain't bad right now, but what's it gonna look like when we get back? So we got Nick, we got our gear, we went and we picked up Jill, and John had to run to Jill's door to get her, and they had to walk back to the trailer because John tried to go over the speed bump with the trailer and scrape the bottom of the trail hitch, and just yeah, it was like, okay, we can't go any further because there's a bunch of these. And then we got to Rochester, and Jill and I got dropped off at a bar so she could use the bathroom, and I knew my way back to the venue from where we got dropped off. While John and Nick went to go try and find where we're supposed to park to play the show. And we get back over there, they still hadn't figured it out. Then we finally realized, like, oh, that's where we're supposed to go over there. Santa's still at the North Pole, Laura. He's probably working. He's probably building all the toys and getting your stocking full of coal ready. Which I will be. Hi, Jill. I was just telling about how you and I had to get off at a bar so you could use the bathroom before we went to our show. But yeah, so we get back, we get in the parking lot. John finally parks the trailer. He was having a little trouble. He got it though. What'd you miss about cats? About me having to shove my cat out of the way when I wake up. That's what you missed about cats. But yeah, we finally get in the door of the venue. We get all our shit set up. We didn't realize everybody else was actually bringing their own tables, so we're like, oh, I guess we're just taking this table. Which is where I set up our camera, which is why all the footage we got is fan shot footage because I didn't get any good shots. But Laura was asking about BWF, and one of my former co-hosts, John's terrified of Reese. Jill says John's scared of cats. He is terrified of Reese. Reese was sitting in the door the one day, like 2 weeks ago, like when we last were here, and John's sitting in the chair, and he's just looking at her, and she's looking at him, and he's just like, I'm more scared of her than I am of Jill. But yeah, Laura was asking about Board Wrestling Fan, and one of my former co-hosts, the Coaster, made it out to Rochester to see us play, which was cool as shit. He comes up to me after the set, and jeez. We went to bed at Nick's, and all I hear is, Jill, can you please come get Lucy? He told me you were making the wiretap device play fart noises in the middle of the night. John is scared of his own shadow. That is true. But yeah, Adam comes up to me, Coaster, he comes up, he says, okay, Joe, you proved to me you could play guitar. I'm like, yeah, cool. So, had a good show. I think we had a good show. Had some people there watching us. They seemed into it, and we got some people who are like, when's your next show? When's your next show? And we're like, it's like 3 months from now. They're like, oh, that's so long. And we're just like, it's really not. But like I said to Jill yesterday, like, it's kind of cool that people liked us so much that they're kind of disappointed that they don't get to see us until at least March, right? So that's pretty cool. Then we drove home. And the plan was to drop Nick off first and the gear, but somehow we end up near my house because the weather is like getting pretty shitty. We get over to my street. We see we cannot turn down my street with the trailer anyway. So it's like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna grab my backpack and my 2 guitars and walk my ass back to the half block to my house. And then like I'm in the group chat like, you guys get home okay? Are you guys home yet? Are you guys home? You safe? What's going on? And finally found out they couldn't even get out of Buffalo. Like they got to Lackawanna. They had to crash at Nick's house because like the weather was so fucking bad, which worked out because it made the Bills ticket prices go down. For the longest time, every time I would look to see how much tickets for this past Sunday's Bills game was, they were going for $225, and I'm like, weather's gonna probably suck because it's December in Buffalo. My team is severely injured and hanging on by a thread. All the throughways and side streets got closed off, and I had an Uber driver last night tell me that too. About Saturday night, he said he was driving and he couldn't get on the throughways like he like was driving, and a cop was like, "Nope, you got to turn around." So I found a ticket for the Buffalo Bills game on Sunday, and I only paid $65 for it, which was pretty nice until I realized that once I bought it, I'm like, how do I get to the stadium now? And I just put on Google Maps, like from my house to Highmark Stadium. And it's like, well, you take this bus and then you walk 49 minutes. Couldn't even go back the way you came because they were blocking your way out of Lackawanna. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad Saturday night. Just I didn't even see what it was like out there. I can't imagine. Just based on the comparison of what it was like here when we left, compared to what it was like at Nick's when we left. So, yeah, I can't even imagine how bad it was for you guys trying to get out of there. John told me you guys had to park on like one of the main streets and carry shit over to Nick's house. Like, yeah, it was pretty bad, but like it was cleaned up around here by Sunday. And I got this ticket for the Bills game for $65, and I'm like, how do I get it? Again, take a bus and walk 49 minutes, and I'm like, I am not fucking walking 49 fucking minutes in this weather because all the sidewalks are going to be covered. So, springtime or summer, whatever, like, yeah, sure, early in the season, I don't know. But like not for a December game. So I'm like, screw it, I'll just take Uber. So I got an Uber, it was $35. I got dropped off like a block from the stadium. Speaking of a block from the stadium, there was a guy I saw on Twitter. He was doing a 49ers fan tailgate. And so I'm like, ooh, 49ers fan tailgate. That sounds like fun. I'll go hang out with fellow 49ers fans. Come to find out, the dude wanted $95 fucking dollars to go to this thing. So I'm like, okay, I'd like to go to that, but I'm not spending $95. Apparently that was a Black Friday deal because it was a regular $125 according to his website. And I'm like, that's dumb. Like, it includes food and drink and everything, but like, I ain't eating $95 worth of food. So I'm like, fuck that. I came home, sat around the house, left here at 6:30, $35 to the stadium. And then I wind up, like, I ended up leaving at halftime, and I'll explain all why after the song break because we're about to get into that. But like, I ended up leaving at halftime and had trouble finding an Uber. But we'll talk more about that after the song break. Right now, let's talk about why we're playing this song as our first song break of the night. And that is because tomorrow night at Mohawk Place, it is Cooler, Bad Bloom, Pink Droid, and Sailing Stones. That's at Mohawk Place. That's 47 East Mohawk Street in Buffalo. That's around where I got my Uber from to go to my mom's house on Thanksgiving. It was about a block away. It was in front of, there's a bookstore over there that I didn't know was over there. That I forgot to tell my friend who likes to read books is over there. So I'm going to have to let him know. Yeah. So we're going to play a song from the band Cooler, who are headlining this show apparently. It's Thursday, December 5th at 7 p.m. Cooler, Bad Bloom, Pink Droid, Sailing Stones, and Mohawk Place, $10. Does it say ages? It doesn't say ages, guys. Come on. I know it's 18 because it's Mohawk, 18 plus. I'm sure. I'm assuming. But it doesn't say anywhere that it is 18 plus. I'm just assuming that it's 18 plus, but it's $10. I know that much, and it's at Mohawk Place. Just, details. Details matter, guys. And then again, not just a criticism at whoever made this, just this happens every week on the show. We find somebody not putting all of the important information in there. But yeah, this is cooler, and this song is called Succulents on All WNY Think So Joe Show. That was cooler on All W. I hit the wrong button. Hold on one second. That was cooler on All WNY. I don't know. We're having all kinds of issues here, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that was cooler on All WNY Think So Joe Show. I hit the wrong button and now I gotta. Anyway, whatever. Well, okay. Anyway. They are playing tomorrow night at Mohawk Place, 47 East Mohawk Street in Buffalo, along with Bad Bloom, Pink Droid, and Sailing Stones. It's not even a time on it. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., it says. And, it does say Thursday, the 5th at 7 p.m. at Mohawk Place. It's $10. I assume it's 18 plus. It doesn't say, but we're used to that on this show at this point, aren't we? Anyway, so Sunday night, I decide I'm going to the Bills game. I've never in my life, I have lived here my entire life. I've lived in Western New York. I have never, before this weekend, been to a Buffalo Bills game. In fact, I have only been to what is now Highmark Stadium twice. Laura, I know there's sound. I can literally see the sound on the screen. I know what's happening here. I can hear it in my headphones. I know it's happening. Anyway. So, lived here my entire life. I've only been to Highmark Stadium twice, and that was, I saw Guns N' Roses there, when on the Not in This Lifetime tour, which live opened that show, and they fucking sucked live, ironically, which I like that band. I was looking forward to seeing them. Laura, there is sound. You're a liar. But, yeah, anyway, I can literally see the output of the sound. I don't need you to tell me if there's sound or not. I know when there's no sound. Anyway. And then the second time I was there was, I saw Metallica there with Ice Nine Kills and Greta Van Fleet, one of the two random ass shows Metallica decided to do in the summer of 2022, where they played Buffalo and then they played Pittsburgh, which they announced the day before they played Vegas, which was another show I was at. So, yeah, anyway. So up until this past weekend, only twice in my life had I even been in Highmark Stadium, let alone being at a football game. I've never been to an NFL game in Buffalo before. I've been to one in California. Either John's struggling with the door or my cats are trying to get in here.
Oh.
There he is.
And they're all on the couch.
Of course they're all on the couch. Anyway, you're just in time for a story I've already told you on the phone.
Ow.
What happened?
I pinched my finger.
Oh, sorry.
My bad.
Sorry, dude. Is that the one you injured the other day? I didn't say how you injured it. I just said you injured it.
Okay.
Anyway. Yeah, so I've already told you this story, so this isn't new to you, but I went to my first Bills game the other day.
I'm sorry.
Very first one.
I'm so sorry.
And it sucked ass.
Did you see Michael Bolton?
Did I see Michael Bolton?
Yeah, he was at the game.
No, I didn't see Michael Bolton at the game.
He was on the field at that game, apparently.
Was he?
There's a live video of him.
I didn't see no fucking Michael Bolton. I saw Cammy Clooney and somebody else apparently from whatever fucking show she was on.
Oh, Michael Bolton.
And then I saw Cammy Clooney again yesterday. I see her at every fucking thing I go to. Anyway, John, did you have a good Christmas in 1994? Laura wants to know.
Yeah, I did. I did actually. I had more hair.
Anyway.
I digress, but.
So yeah, as I was saying before the break, like, it sucked getting to the stadium because it's like you basically have to Uber, because what I didn't know, and they don't advertise very well, is that you can get an NFTA shuttle down there.
Really?
I found out the next day. Actually, no, that's not true. I found out on my way to the game. In my Uber, I saw shuttle buses. I said, wait, they got buses coming down here? He said, oh, yeah, they're in back. Like, what? Really? I spent $35 on a fucking Uber. I could have just bussed here. Turns out, you pay $5, you get on this shuttle bus, they take you straight to the stadium, right to the gate. I wouldn't have had to walk. Like, I would have had to take a bus to get that bus. But, like, I wouldn't have had to walk at all. Like, I had to walk in a block from where the guy dropped me off, because it was like, well, do you want to go to the other side of the light, or do you want to get off here? I'm like, let me get off here, man. I see all these people walking. I'll just follow them. You know, that's what I did. I get to the gate at the stadium, and I asked the guy, I said, hey, man, I've never been here before. Where do I go? And he just turns around, he points at a sign, and he goes, you see that sign? I said, no, I didn't see that sign until you pointed at it. Thank you. I will follow the sign. So I just had to follow the signs to find my seat. The weird thing is, as you're walking towards the signs, it doesn't show you where my section was. But when you get to the side of the signs, it shows you where my section is. So you got to walk like past the sign to see where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
For where I'm sitting anyway. So I finally get up to my seat, and my seat is covered in snow. Actually, before I even get to my seat, the stairs are still covered in snow to get up to the seats. They're still shoveling the snow. And, you know, I'm like stepping on snow piles trying to get up these steps. And the one guy shoveling grabs my hand. He's like, "Here you go, sir." Like, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate that." I get up to my seat. The snow is covering the markers where it says what row you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like asking people on my way up. I'm like, "Hey, what row is this?" "Okay, thank you." "Okay, what row is this?" "Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm in this row then. This is 23." So now throughout the rest of the game, when I'm seeing people, I'm like, "Yo, this is 23 if it helps," Get up to my seat and the floor in front of my seat covered in snow. Like this much fucking snow. Like the snow is on the seat up to the top of the seat back. And on the floor, it's like the entire, like, it's just snow. So, like, you're paying people $20 an hour to do this. They're not even done by the time you're opening the gates.
Or they're slacking off.
I don't know about that. Like, they
They didn't get enough people, probably.
I guess. I don't know. But then the seats are not shoveled at all. So you are just, you got snow. You're walking through snow. You're sitting in snow. There's snow. So I'm kicking away at the snow under my feet, just trying to get myself, a flat ground to stand on.
Yeah.
And, like, brushed off my seats. All right, cool. I'm good. I'm good right here. I am perfect right here. I can stand here. I can watch the game.
Mm-hmm.
Game starts, snow starts. Like, as soon as the NBC broadcast starts, the fucking snow starts. And it is heavy ass fucking snow coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, covering the field. If you watched the game, you saw the snow on the field. That was not there when I got there. That shit came down after I got there. So I start worrying now, because I knew, the night before you guys couldn't get out of Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
And, which I've already told that story, so we're past that. But so I'm like, am I going to be able to get home after this game? Not thinking about this shuttle bus. I'm thinking about, I got to get somewhere to get an Uber. Get somewhere that's not near the stadium where I can be inside and just wait till, like, surge pricing drops. So I'm like, I might just leave at fucking halftime. I'm already thinking of leaving at halftime because of the weather. And this is, the Niners are up 3-0 at this point. I start thinking this, And then, the Bills fans start pouring in. And I happen to get stuck next to a big, drunk Bills fan.
Mm-hmm.
With no sense of personal space. You're me, I'm this Bills fan. He's turning around, he's bumping into me, he's, and I don't think he's doing it on purpose. Like, the dude was cool. Like, he was a good dude. He was cool.
I heard little 49er fan, little girl got pushed by drunken Bills fan.
That's what people are saying. I've also seen Bills fans like, nah, Bills fans wouldn't do that. They wouldn't let them get away with that. Like, I do see where he's coming from. Because I don't think Bills fans would let other Bills fans get away with that if they saw it happen. We don't know what point during the game this supposedly happened. So if Bills fans saw it happen, if Bills Mafia saw it happen, they're not going to let somebody get away with that. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So, but apparently, like, some legacy players have reached out to this family. The Bills themselves have reached out to the family to help them, rectify their experience. Somebody from the Buffalo Bills, please reach out to me and rectify my fucking experience, because I was expecting to be able to fucking sit down when I got there. I wasn't expecting to be standing on fucking snow piles, having to trudge through fucking snow to watch a football game. Like, why? And that just it makes me question even more why we're building another fucking stadium with no roof on it.
Put a stadium there, maybe I'll go.
Why is there no fucking roof on this new stadium if this is the experience that people are going to get for games where it fucking snows? And then the snowballs start flying.
Yes, I will let you and Laura.
The fucking snowballs start flying because Bills fans. Right? You ever watch a game on TV, you see them throwing the fucking snowballs. As soon as the snow starts falling, you start seeing snowballs flying. Security runs up to the kid in front of me. He goes, "Stop throwing snowballs. You throw another snowball, you're out of here." Next thing I know, that kid's not there no more. I don't know if he got thrown out or what. The rest of the people he was with were there. That kid wasn't there no more. Then there's some drunk-ass Bills fan behind me. "Injure Trent Williams!" Like, turned around, I'm like, what a dick thing to say. I literally said that to them. I'm like, that's a fucking dick thing to say. I ain't over here fucking saying injure Josh Allen. What the fuck, bro? They're just dudes playing a fucking game. This shit has no fucking effect on your life tomorrow, man. Bills win. Congratulations, y'all made the AFC East. You won the AFC East for the 5th time in a row. What's that do for me? What's that do for you? What's that do for your dad as a Bills fan? That doesn't do shit for nobody. Gives you a little bit of euphoria and pride in your team. Okay, whoop-de-doo. But, like, these guys are fucking athletes. They're out there busting their asses, trying to fucking earn a living and trying to entertain you, and you're over here, injure this guy!
I know it's a low blow, but they're just gonna choke in the playoffs like they always do.
You said it.
Sorry. And I'm not sorry about that.
But
They'll suck.
I mean, I did say it when they beat Kansas City a couple of weeks ago, so, you know.
They might have bring him in a piece.
You beat them in the regular season, beat them in the playoffs now.
You can't. They can't. When it comes to playoffs, they choke.
Yeah, but I mean, and the dude, and so after I'm hearing this guy, injure this guy, right? I hear a dude in front of me, McCaffrey's going up the tunnel, and I'm like, thinking he's wishing injury on Christian McCaffrey, not having seen the injury actually happen and McCaffrey actually walking up the tunnel. So I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he goes, no, he's literally walking up the tunnel. So I later apologized to that guy when I realized, oh shit, he was not wishing injury on anybody. You know, he's like, no, it's cool, man. I understand. Like, you know, but I'm from California. I like McCaffrey. I didn't want him to get hurt. You know, like, no, I get it, man. I feel like an asshole now, you know? I'm going to go to a Bills game and bring a giant sign that says Joe owes us a barbecue and get on national. Do it! Do it! Oh, that's the one story from Thanksgiving I didn't tell you guys, is I'm sitting at the table, phone on the table, playing Welcome to Joe's Barbecue for my mom and my kid and my stepdad. My mom's like, are you getting royalties for this? That's actually about you? Like, yep. You're getting royalties for that. No, I'm not getting royalties for this. I'm getting royalties for Pre-Pandemic Fart, their other song. The one that I'm actually on. Yeah. But yeah, so now I got this combination of, I got this drunk ass Bills fan next to me. He's kind of pushing me further and further to my right, where I haven't dug out a nice little fucking spot for my feet. Now I'm standing on a fucking snow pile that's very uneven, trying not to slip. I am literally digging my heels in to not fucking slip from where I'm standing. And so it's snowing, so I'm worried about how, if I'm going to be able to get home, because I don't know what it's doing outside the stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know what the roads are like in fucking, further outside of Orchard Park, so I'm like, how am I getting home? And I'm standing on an uneven snow pile, and it's not fucking comfortable. And I've got this drunk-ass Bills fan bumping into me the whole time, which is fine, he was cool, he was nice, he's bumping into me, but every time the Bills score, he's just reaching out, shake hand, and I eventually relented and fucking shook his hand, and we hugged a couple of times, it's like, you guys got this game. There's no I'm here because I don't get to see my team very often. I already knew coming in, there's no fucking way we're beating Buffalo with all the fucking players that we have out. There's no fucking way we're beating Buffalo. So I'm all right, and in the fucking snow. So I'm like, screw this, I'm leaving at halftime. I left at halftime and called for an Uber. And it was weird, because I asked the cop on the way out, I'm like, where do I call for an Uber? He says, well, not in the parking lot. I said, I figured as much. He says, you want to go to the light, and there's a couple of restaurants at the light. You just wait at one of the restaurants. Okay, cool. Well, I got to a light. I didn't see no fucking restaurants. I went the wrong way, apparently. So I end up in the Guitar Factory parking lot. Because I'm like, if I fucking call from here, I know Guitar Factory, I'll call from here. I'll just get picked up here. And it says $75. I'm like, well, fuck that shit. I'll walk a little further. So I walk up half a fucking block. It's not even a half a block, it's one building. I walk up to the other side of the car wash that's next to Guitar Factory. And I find a little space on California Street, and I'm like, let me see what Uber says, and it says 45. It says $30. I'm like, well, shit, that's way better than $75. So I call for an Uber, and it says 16 minutes away. I'm like, God damn it. Meanwhile, cabs are driving. But hey, you need a cab? No, I got an Uber, man. Hey, you need a cab? No, I got an Uber, man. Hey, you need a cab? No, got an Uber, man. Hey, but how long's your Uber? Like 15 minutes? Well, I'm here now. And I said, how much to South Buffalo? He says, how much you want to pay me? I said, I'll give you 30. He says, how's 40? I said, I'll do 40. Fuck it, let's go. So I was like, you take card? He says, you can Venmo me. I Venmoed him 45. Threw in a tip for him, you know. So that's how I got home, and I got home just in time to see the 49ers score a touchdown in the fourth quarter. But yeah, it was not a pleasant experience. Maybe if I was rooting for Buffalo, it might have been a much more pleasant experience, but me being a 49ers fan and like just you know, or if I drove, maybe it would have been a better experience, because then I'd be like, well, at the very least, I can, you know, once the game's over, I can go sleep in my car or whatever, you know, but like, you know. And then, like, the whole way home, there was no fucking snow. Like, as soon as I got outside the stadium, there's no snow.
Oh, it's supposed to come tonight.
Yeah, I know.
I got asked to work.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm doing it.
I know it's supposed to snow tonight, so. Yeah, I don't know.
I got a text message. Do you want to come plow? Like, 2 a.m. But let me think about it.
Laura wants to know what's in our pockets. I got the same shit in my pockets as always. Got a pen and a marker.
I got weed.
You got weed?
No.
You got weed? You're holding out? No.
I got nothing.
We're at the show Saturday night, and just these guys are outside while we're trying to load our gear into the trailer, and they're just like offering us fucking booze and weed, and we're just like, nah, man, we don't do that stuff. Like,
I mean, I was an asshole to the guy. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
he just kept nagging me. I can't do this. Let me pack the stuff in. Let me pack the stuff.
The drummer from one of the other bands was offering to help John bring shit out to the. He was trying to help you bring shit out to the truck, but you're like, no, let me pack my stuff first, and then we'll bring it out.
I'm sorry for being an asshole, but like
he was pushing it. He was like really like, no, let me help. We get you want to help, bro, but like, give us a minute, you know.
I'm in my own world. I need to make sure everything's packed before the thing goes outside.
Like, let him do his thing, and then we'll load everything out. Like,
I'll call you.
If it were up to me, my shit would already be in the trailer, but we gotta wait for him because his shit's gotta go in first. And he doesn't want to move anything until he's packed, so let him pack, and then we'll go.
But he didn't listen.
Yeah. And then I got called over to the merch table, so I'm just standing there, like, selling merch and talking to my buddy Adam, who came out to see us, which was really cool.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Next time I see him, I'll apologize, but...
Yeah.
I got to do my own thing.
Did I tell you that the drummer for the first band, Call It Quits, is the guy that did our t-shirts?
No, you didn't tell me that.
I didn't know.
I thought you did the t-shirts.
No, the last couple of batches of t-shirts we like the flag ones and the Raise Hell ones.
Yeah.
We outsourced because it was just cheaper or easier or quicker.
Band?
Yeah, the drummer for the first band was the guy who did the Raise Hell t-shirts.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Neither did I until I saw him on Sunday posting about, oh yeah, you know, it was, we had a great show last night at Montage, and posted a picture of his drum kit. I'm like, wait a minute. And now I'm putting all the pieces together because his guitar player, who I was talking to, was like, yeah, our drummer owns a DIY venue, and we've been playing there. Oh, our drummer he makes t-shirts, and we didn't bring any t-shirts. And I'm just like, my brain is going, hey, I know a guy out here who owns a DIY venue. Hey, I know a guy out here who makes t-shirts. I did not make the connection of, hey, that guy I know out here that makes t-shirts and owns a DIY venue is the guy that's standing here talking to me right now. It hit me on Sunday. I'm like, dude, was that you I was talking to last night? Like, I am so sorry. I didn't even know it was you. I don't know how I didn't make the connection.
Well, thank you.
But
they enjoyed our set.
yeah, no,
Everybody did.
Yeah. I did not realize that was Sean Mabb, who was the drummer for Call It Quits. I had no idea. None. No fucking clue.
Good punk band though.
Yeah, oh, they were really fucking good. It was a interesting show to play. I would have scheduled it a little differently if I were the promoter. Because I would have done Call It Quits, Us, Comfort and Violence, and Oriamnos in that order. But they did Call It Quits, Comfort and Violence, Us, and Oriamnos, which is weird. See you later, Max. Yeah, it was a weird order for me, but it was cool. You know, the drummer from Comfort and Violence bought our T-shirt, wore it on stage. He had already cut the sleeves off it by the time he got up there. He's like, you got this shirt, and you know, whatever size he bought us. Yeah, let me dig through the bag. I still haven't organized that. I got to do that. Like, it's still unorganized from when you moved it into the smaller bin. So I have no idea what we have in what. So I got to do inventory and shit. But
we could probably go back to a bigger bin.
Yeah, now that we're doing trailers, yeah. But yeah, no, it was just like. But now it's funny because everything's starting to fit in the smaller bin. So. Till we get more merch. But yeah, he bought a shirt, and a couple other people bought some shirts, which was cool. So, you know, and we donated what we would have made from the show itself. We donated that to we were like, Randy, keep that shit, take it, give it to the charity.
The way home was scary.
Yeah, dude, we were driving pretty slow, which we were gonna drive slow to begin with, but we ended up driving even slower because it was like.
When we got to Batavia, we hit the storm.
Yeah, and we're, you know, Jill and I are just like, you're doing good, just take your time, don't rush, like let's get home safe, you know.
And then and then we got to Buffalo, we got close to Buffalo and stopped, and then we got close to Lackawanna. We couldn't get back out after we dropped you off.
Yeah, I was telling them you had to drop me off, and I had to walk with my guitars up to my house.
That bad.
And like my steps weren't shoveled. So, like, I'm having to, like, stomp through my steps to get up the steps with my guitars, and then before I even went in the house, I grabbed my shovel and took care of the steps. And then the next day, I go outside wearing a George Kittle jersey, and everything's shoveled. I'm like, you guys didn't save anything for me to shovel? I didn't see my landlady was next door. I only saw her daughter was standing as we were talking. I'm like, you didn't leave me anything to shovel. She said, no, we got it all. And then I hear my landlady, take that jersey off. And she had posted pictures of her dogs in the red Bills jerseys earlier. And I'm like, look, just because your dogs own knockoffs of this jersey. And I was joking with Niners fans of the game, right? Because, like, I'm like, hey, did you guys notice all these red number 17 Allen jerseys? They said, yeah. I said, you think they were watching the game last week where Purdy was out and Brandon Allen was the backup? And they were like, yo, that's our guy, Brandon Allen. Let's wear our red Allen 17 jerseys next week. Couple of, you know, the Niners fans thought it was funny. The Bills fans, not so much. But the Bills fans, other than the dick behind me saying injure the other players, most of the Bills fans I dealt with that night, they were cool.
Then you went to a Sabres game.
Even the drunk dude next to me that was bumping into me the whole time, he was at least cool about it. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't a dick. So, you know, I can't speak for every Bills fan because I only interacted with the people in my section. So I don't know what happened with this little girl that got, apparently, you know, this cancer survivor, 8-year-old girl that got shoved face first into the ground, allegedly. I've read what I've read, which is some Bills fan shoved her and ruined the experience for the family. Whether it's true or not, I didn't see it. I don't know. But my experience, the Bills fans were all cool. Like, I think if that game was in, like, September, I would have had a fucking blast. I would have stayed the whole time. I would have enjoyed it. I would have, you know, it would have been all right. But being in the middle of fucking winter in that stadium with no fucking roof on it, nobody shoveled out the fucking seats, I had to climb over snow piles to even get to the row that I was in because they hadn't finished shoveling at that point. You know, It's ridiculous. It was a very bad experience. It was not fun. And that's why I went to the Sabres game last night, was as a palate cleanser. We will talk about that when we come back from the song break. Right now, we've got to talk about Crown Christmas 2024 with Crown Conscious happening this Saturday at 5 p.m. That's at the Evening Star Concert Hall in Niagara Falls, 8810 Niagara Falls Boulevard in Niagara Falls, New York. It is FTMP Events presents Crown Christmas 2024 with Crown Conscious, featuring Morgue Terror, Putz, Prawn, and Mike, I'm going to fuck up your band name again, Adelphaphagy? Adelphaphagy? I don't know how to say your band name, Mike. Anyway, Saturday, December 7th, rather, 18 plus with ID required, no ID, no entry. Doors at 5 p.m. at Evening Star Concert Hall, 8810 Niagara Falls Boulevard, Niagara Falls, New York. They don't say, there's no price on here. There's no price. Is it on the flyer? It's not even on the flyer. Greg, what are you doing? Oh, there it is, 15. I see it. It's in the middle of the flyer. It's not in the event page, though. It's not in the description. Greg, what are you doing, bro? You're always on top of that shit. Anyway, this is Crown Conscious. And wait, was this what I was doing next? I loaded up the wrong song. All right, hold on. Let me pull that up then. This is Crown Conscious. This song is called Intense Blank Stare on All WNY. ThinkSoJoE Show.
In times of peace and
That was Crown Conscious on all WNY. ThinkSoJoE show. That song called Intense Blank Stare.
Yeah.
This song sounds like a song you would hear in church.
Yeah.
Or on the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Oh, yeah.
That whole controversy right now. People upset because Knock Loose and Poppy played on Jimmy Kimmel.
So
oh no,
what?
heavy metal on late night television. Ooh.
He had a
so scared.
He had a Treyu on there. He had Slipknot on there. Get over it.
He had Metallica on there for an entire week once.
I like Jimmy Kimmel. Keep it up, dude. Book those bands.
I
Fucking
mean,
love that dude. He booked the fucking Used too. Sorry. But he did.
I mean, these late night hosts book artists that I don't know and don't particularly care for.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not gonna go right to the fucking network and demand a formal apology for like, oh, you had Nicki Minaj on your show. Like, no, fuck that shit. Like, heavy metal is a fucking valid form of music. Like, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Like, I literally break the fourth wall here. I said to John as soon as we started playing that song, like, oh, good, death metal. Our audience fucking loves death metal. Sarcastically. Because, like, when we play, and we do it all the time. Like, we got nothing against it, but, like, we do it all the time. We play a death metal band, and then there's nobody in the fucking chat afterward. It happens all the time. And that's not to knock death metal bands or anything like that. It's just what happens. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
No.
So, like, to have a heavy metal band on a late night TV program, like, it's a fucking genre of music. It's a band that is popular. Like, I don't think I've ever heard a Knocked Loose song in my life, but I know who they are. I know they're a popular band.
They're a
like,
good band.
Like, they're popular. People are going to listen to them. Are they even a heavy metal? I don't even know. Is that what would you say they are? I've never heard them in my life. I don't know.
They're metal.
Okay. So it's a metal band. So people are
Yeah.
so scared of fucking heavy metal, right? So it's like, why?
They're not gonna hurt you.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's he's screaming and you can't understand the lyrics, which is my criticism of most heavy metal, honestly. But like, it's an art form. People do enjoy that.
Anybody could do it. No. That takes a lot of years.
Former metal singer here? No, not everybody can do that.
I mean, Sam can vouch. It doesn't come overnight.
No, and like, we've been in the car where Jill has her phone in the Bluetooth and she's listening to, like, here's how you do death metal vocals. Like, she's listening to, like, tutors or like instructors how to breathe and sing death metal vocals. Like, it's not, if it's so easy to do, go do it. Right? You know what I mean?
It's
like,
not talent. Yeah, it is talent.
I am not the guy that's gonna sit here and like listen to bands where it's a lot of growling and a lot of screaming and I'm not gonna understand the lyrics. But I'm also, like, aware of how much fucking talent that takes and how much effort these singers put in, because it is a whole different ball game from just learning how to sing. You got to learn how to fucking scream without blowing out your fucking voice every time you do it. And that's not an easy thing to do.
Big bands, like they tour, they play every freaking night.
Right.
Maybe they get 2 or 1 day off.
Yeah.
But they do it.
So, like, yeah, I'm not the biggest, like, like Metallica's like the heaviest I get, maybe Slipknot, but like I don't,
That's more my style.
But like, I don't get into the like really growling like death metal kind of stuff, but like I'm never gonna sit here and say that it's just noise and that anybody can do it and it's not an art form, because it absolutely 100% takes a lot of fucking work to get that sounding right and not fucking kill yourself doing it. It's just
And I get
It's not everybody's cup of tea. I get that, but I mean,
Yeah.
like, I'm not. If I see a band like Knocked Loose on Jimmy Kimmel, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh my God, I'm terrified. Please take this off the air. You demand. I need a formal apology right now." Like,
yeah.
no, it is what it is. Just because you don't like the genre, it's if you don't like it, change the fucking channel.
Exactly.
Like my mom does every time she hears me swear on the show.
Maybe they got more fans. They did it. They were live TV. They got more fans out of it.
It's a platform for a band to get people watching.
Yeah.
And listening and like.
And him giving these bands a chance.
But let's talk about this though. Let's compare this to I don't know 70 70. Am I mathing right here? No, 60 years ago. Let's talk about 60 years ago. What bands were on TV and the parents were like, we need an apology for this. Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
The fucking Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. Parents were like, what is this garbage? What is this noise?
Mm-hmm.
So this is nothing new, parents getting upset about a band being on TV. But like these bands are on these shows and they're getting exposure. Elvis on TV and the Beatles on TV. By the way, if you want to see a cool documentary that I really enjoyed was the Elvis 68 special documentary on Netflix. I watched that. It was behind the scenes of his 68 comeback special. And I told my mom, hey, Ma, you got to watch this. She says, oh, that 68 comeback special was so good. And I'm like, I want to watch it, but I don't want to spend the money because it's not free anywhere. You got to buy it or rent it. And I'm like, if I'm going to, like, I got to find time where I'm going to want to sit here and actually watch the whole thing. Because I don't know if I want to buy it, but I definitely dropped like $3 or $4 to rent it, to watch it. Because, like, music history. Speaking of music history, you know what today is in music history?
What's that?
Are you familiar with the song Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So today is actually the anniversary in 1971 on this day at Montreux on the Lake Geneva shoreline. Frank Zappa and the Mothers were playing a show. And some stupid with a flare gun burned the place to the ground.
Huh.
And that is what the song Smoke on the Water is about. The band Deep Purple were there. They were going to record in the venue that the show was happening, the Frank Zappa show.
Yeah.
They were going to record their album there. They had the Rolling Stones had a mobile recording truck, and they were going to bring it into Montreux, and Deep Purple were going to record their album there. And if what I'm saying right now sounds familiar, it's because these are literally the lyrics to the song. The song, the verses of the song describe this entire thing. So there's a guy named Claude who puts on a festival at Montreux every year. He's helping people get out of the venue because he knows the layout of the venue. So he helped everybody get out safely. Like nobody died in this.
Mm-hmm.
Deep Purple are at this show. They get out safely. They're and so because now Montreux's not there because it burned down, they recorded in the Grand Hotel across the river. And they wrote Smoke on the Water. And they were like, this song sucks, dude. We're not putting this shit on the album. And now it's the song like every single guitar player learns how to play first. It was the first song I ever learned how to play. I never even heard the song before I learned how to play it. My buddy's just like, this is how you play Smoke on the Water. I'm like, okay, I don't know that song. Now I know that song, I know that story, but yeah, this is the day, December 4th, 1971, of that Frank Zappa and the Mothers concert. Laura wants you to have a good show. She's got to go to work.
Oh. Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, this day in 1971 was the day of that Frank Zappa and the Mothers concert that's referenced in Smoke on the Water. And was the inspiration for the song "Smoke on the Water" by Deep Purple.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that is today, 53 years ago today. So yeah. Which would have been the thumbnail, but I'm like, what am I gonna like? How am I gonna illustrate this? And then I ended up just finding out today is like National Dice Day. It's also National Santa's List Day.
Mm-hmm. I wish my boys a safe trip to Nashville today.
Oh yeah. Your other band's going to Nashville to record without you.
Without me, yeah.
Yeah.
I
They're gonna go write music and then send it to you. Like, can you play this?
Yeah. They said they're gonna ask me what hey, what do you think of this? You want to change anything?
Yeah.
As
long as you get some input in it,
yeah.
it should be fine, dude. Like, yeah.
I just couldn't make the trip.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
But I wish them the best. I'll see them in a week.
Yeah. But yeah, just that's so I went to that Bills game Sunday night, and I was home by the fourth quarter.
And
if I would have known like how to get the shuttle, I probably would have just gotten the shuttle and just not, then I wouldn't have had to spend anything to get home. It was just I wouldn't have gotten home till after fucking midnight.
And you saw my arch enemy yesterday.
I saw your arch enemy yesterday. Oh, Sabretooth. Yeah.
Son of
I did.
a
He was right in
bitch.
front of me. So I'm like, I'm gonna wash this taste of this Bills game out of my mouth because it was, and again, not because my team got their asses handed to them. Clearly, I don't give a fuck. I'm still rocking Bang Bang Niner Gang. Let's go. But I wanted to like get that experience out of my like just because every time I go to the Sabres game, I have a good time, and I was having a great time during the first period.
What happened?
Well, the Sabres went up 4-0 within the first 10 minutes of the game.
Oh, nice.
And I even yelled out, like, it's okay, Avs fans. I'm a 49ers fan and was at the game the other day. I know how you feel. And Tage Thompson's got 2 goals. We chase their goalie. The new goalie comes in. The fucking backup goalie for the Avalanche is wearing a Nashville Predators mask because he had literally just got it traded on Saturday. So has not had time to get Colorado gear made.
Oh, really?
He's wearing a fucking Nashville Predators mask. He's got their colors on his goalie pads. And
he hasn't got his gear back.
He hasn't got new gear made. Yeah. Which, I mean, he literally just got traded on Saturday. So like it's Tuesday. When's he gonna get gear made, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Especially like I don't know if the Avs are on a road trip or what, but like he's got to get the shit and get it delivered to himself, and
so
they put him in. He's wearing a fucking Preds mask, and I'm just sitting here like watching this lead just go. Second period ends. It's 4-1 Buffalo still. Like, all right, cool, no problem. Third period starts. It's 4-2 Buffalo. It's 4-3 Buffalo. It's tied at 4. And the whole fucking game is taking place on the other end of the ice at this point. They get down to my end. I yell, "Hey, Tage, I need a new hat anyway," hoping he would fucking score and I could throw my hat even though it wouldn't have gotten over the netting. Because my winter Sabres hats are all like older than some of the fucking kids that were at the game last night. But I digress. And then Colorado scored again. And I'm just sitting here yelling like, this dude doesn't even have the right fucking team's gear on and you can't score on him? Like, he can't be that good. Nashville fucking traded him for a 6th-round pick 3 days ago. And another player, but I don't know who the other player was, so I don't know if he was any good. So, but it's just like, dude, this guy can't even get gear with his team on it, and you guys can't score on him. And so the Sabres lost 5-4. So that was pleasant.
They couldn't keep the lead.
And then I went into this. No, they couldn't. They blew a 4 fucking goal lead. And then I went to the Sabres store because I'm looking for a new Sabres knit cap because it's fucking winter.
Yeah.
Football season's going to be over for me probably by January because this team ain't making the fucking playoffs. And not saying I'm giving up on them. I'm just saying, like, with all the injuries, because we lost Christian McCaffrey again, we lost Jordan Mason, we're down to our 3rd string fucking running back, and Garando's good. Like, I saw him play a few weeks ago, but like he's got to carry the whole fucking team. This is gonna be tough. It's going to be tough for the Niners to make the playoffs. So in realistic terms, by January, I'm going to need to wear something different than a 49ers hat. So I'm looking for a new Sabres hat. They don't have knit caps anymore that don't have the cuff on them. They don't fold up like yours.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that style. I like having them where they're just, like, on my head. But I can't find Sabres ones like that anymore. I went on Sabres.com looking for them. I went on lids.com looking for them. I went on locks.com looking for them. I went on Amazon looking for them. I can't find a Sabres knit cap that doesn't have the fucking cuff. I went to the Sabres store last night. They don't have them. I'm like, is this just not a thing anymore?
Mm.
Like, just a fucking beanie with no fucking cuff on it? Like, that's what I want. The Sabres hat I wore last night. So let me tell you why I think last night's game was because of my friend Tracy. My late friend Tracy, who died just less than a week before Brian died. She and I, the one time she came to Buffalo, we went to a Sabres game.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat in the same section I was sitting in, 113. And we watched them play the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Sabres won in overtime with like 0.1 second left on the clock. Jack Eichel scored.
Yeah.
Before that, we went to a game in Columbus where I wore the hat I wore last night, and I wore it Zubaz side out because it's a reversible hat. One side's blue, the other side is blue and gold Zubaz. And that's what I wore. That's the only time I've ever worn it Zubaz side out for a game. Was at the Columbus game. So last night, I wore it Zubaz side out. I'm like, I'm going to be an obnoxious fucking Sabres fan. I'm going to wear the fucking Zubaz. Like, I'm going to, let's go Buffalo. And so I think with that backup goalie having come from Nashville, which was Tracy's favorite team, me sitting in the same section I sat in when I went to the game with her, and me wearing the hat the same side out that I wore when I went to another game with her, I think she cursed the Sabres last night. I think she was like, oh, no. You're not going to have a good time tonight. You're going to watch this team blow a 4-goal lead. So if that was you, Tracy, fuck you. If not, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, it was just like, yeah, that sucked. And the funny thing is, when we saw them play Columbus, they beat Columbus 4-0. When we saw them in Columbus, and I wore the hat Zubaz side out. I didn't even think to like flip the hat until like after the 5th goal. I'm like, let me flip the hat and see if that helps. Superstitions, Like, I don't wear my George Kittle jersey because I wore it to the game in Santa Clara. The 49ers won. I wore it the next week watching the game on TV, and they lost. So I'm like, well, that's a bad idea. I'm not going to wear this during games anymore. But I'm like, but when I wore it to a game, they won. So I wore it to the Bills game. And they certainly didn't win, and George Kittle only got 1 pass thrown to him. So I got to see that at least.
The Sabres did not, I mean, they were going to win, they lost.
Yep.
But they clearly didn't, they clearly didn't, what's the word for it? I know the word for it. They didn't bring the boom!
Oh my fucking God.
I was trying to do that.
Oh my fucking, that was the dumbest fucking thing. John's referencing the AEW pay-per-view from 2 weeks ago, where they had these TikTok stars, the Costco guys, on.
I mean, he was a wrestler way back in his day.
So the guy was a wrestler back in the day, and apparently wrestled with QT Marshall, who was his opponent.
The Doom
at the show, right? This dumbass shit that I'm watching on TV between a guy who can barely get on fucking TV and some fucking TikTok asshole is the fucking main event of the pre-show of the pay-per-view, when you've got who the fuck was even in the it was Deonna Purrazzo and Anna Jay, wasn't it? Like the first fucking match on the card, like,
yeah.
Like, you have these 2 talented ass women. This is a former like 2-time knockouts tag team or knockouts women's champion.
Mm-hmm.
her corner person was the longest reigning TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champion at one point, world champion at one point, and like people like really like Anna Jay. They're all involved in the opening fucking match of this thing where that is the fucking headline. Fuck off. Like, do better with your fucking talent, bro. But again, I'm not the target audience for that shit.
Well, some guy on TikTok made this guy had made his WWE debut. It says clearly right in the video, AEW, not WWE, you dumb fuck.
Right. But again, when they bring in these celebrities these days, I am not the target audience. So when they bring in AJ, what the fuck was the guy's name? I don't even know. AJ Boom, I think was what they were calling, right? Yeah, and his fucking kid and the Riz Master or whatever the fuck, the Rizzler, is that what the fucking kid's name? This fucking little kid whose whole thing is he touches his fucking face. I can touch my fucking face too.
The other kid, Big Justice.
Hi, Jasmine.
Big Justice.
Big Justice. Yeah, that's the kid. And then you got this fucking little kid whose whole fucking shtick is he touches his face. He does the Riz face. Like, what the fuck? I can touch my goddamn face too. Why aren't you putting me on TV? Like, come on. I'm not the target audience for that shit. Like, I get that these are popular fucking people that are not in my fucking demographic here.
You would have made a good heel.
35 degrees, rain and snow right now, Jasmine.
It's horrible here.
John couldn't get home the other night from when we got back from Rochester. He had to sleep at Nick's. Luckily, I got dropped off first, so the worst I had to go through was walking half a block with my guitars.
Yeah,
trudging up my steps that weren't cleared.
I already got the trailer stuck.
Yeah, there was no way I was letting you turn down here. Like, nope, you ain't making that. But yeah, no, I get that I am not the target audience when they bring in fucking celebrities to do stupid shit like that.
Cool.
Like, I don't know who the fuck these people are. I shouldn't know who these people are because I'm in my fucking 40s and they're on TikTok, right? Like,
you better not sign it. I think that was a one-time only.
I hope it was. That's so dumb though. Like, and you put them like later in your show. You put them in the main. Like, I know it's the pre-show. It ain't like they put him in the main event of the fucking pay-per-view ahead of Jon Moxley or something, right? But they put him in the fucking main event of the pre-show where you've got, like, Anna Jay and Deonna Purrazzo in one of the fucking matches, and you've got, like, all these fucking talented-ass people on this card that actually work for your fucking company. You got this TikTok asshole in the fucking ring and some kid touching his face as the timekeeper. John's touching his face. Why ain't he on TV? Is it because you're not a little kid in a TikTok video? I don't know, man. Again, I'm not the target demographic for that. Whatever you're gonna do, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They got to do what appeals to people. They got to bring people in to watch these fucking shows because clearly they're doing a really shitty fucking job of that. But I'm not. And this isn't me trying to be one of them tribalistic fucking like, oh, WWE so much better shit. Like, this is me like, I don't understand this. And I don't, like, I get that that's going to appeal to a certain part of the audience and bring in a certain part of the audience, but, like, who? And are these people staying when you don't have the fucking Costco guys on your TV anymore?
Yeah.
Are they watching this and they're like, oh, this is really entertaining, and then they stick around and, like, these people are ordering full gear? Like, they tuned in for AJ Boom and they saw Buddy Matthews in the match before and they're like, oh, I got to see more of this. Did these people like turn around like, oh, what's going to happen now? I got to drop $60 on this pay-per-view. Maybe they did. I didn't see the numbers. I don't know. Is that going to help turn things around? Is that how you're going to get butts in the seats? Because we've been to both shows. We've been to AEW. We've been to WWE. We had trouble getting WWE tickets because that show was almost sold out. If it wasn't sold out, it was almost sold out. The AEW show, on the other hand, we're looking at half an empty arena.
Mm-hmm.
So is that how they're getting people now? They're going to get these two two guys off this father-son off TikTok and the fucking Rizzler touching his fucking face. Like, that's drawing people in. And that's gonna get people to drop your $60 on your fucking pay-per-view. I don't know.
He has his whole freaking family on TikTok.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe, again, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just out of touch here, but.
And acting like they're rappers. They're not rappers.
Maybe I'm out of touch here. Maybe it's just because I'm not the target demographic here, but like, I don't see that being. I mean, I think if I were like Deonna Purrazzo or even like Buddy Matthews, who wrestled later on in that pre-show, and I'm going before this guy, I'm just like, why the fuck is this happening?
I know, right?
In what would be considered a main event spot, like,
yeah, but then when he comes out, he shakes everybody's hand around the ringside.
Yeah,
he took forever to start the match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's not my thing, man. I get what they're trying to do, but I don't see the appeal.
I thought it was a joke.
I get what they're trying to do. I just don't think it's gonna work the way that they were hoping.
Yeah.
And now that we've wasted your time talking about wrestling for the last 15 minutes,
we apologize.
Sorry, rant over. Saturday night at Mr. Goodbar at 9 p.m. It's an ugly sweater party with meat raffle, Karma Queen, and silent treatment. I feel, as friends of the band Skyway, I need to point out that this is actually the band Meat Raffle and not Skyway calling themselves the Meat Raffles, because that has happened before. And we didn't know at the time that there was actually a band called Meat Raffle until like after the fact that they did a show where they called themselves the Meat Raffles. Mm-hmm. I was like, guys, you know there's actually a band in Buffalo called Meat Raffle? They said, no, we didn't know. We got to get them on a show with us. Like, yeah, now you do. But anyway, it's Meat Raffle. It's Karma Queen, and it's Silent Treatment. Ugly sweater party at Mr. Goodbar, $8, 21 and up, 9 p.m. start upstairs, I assume. Yeah, holiday party in the attic at Mr. Goodbar. That's 1110 Elmwood Avenue in Buffalo. Good luck getting home if you got an Uber from there after the show. Trust me, that's not fun. Maybe it is. Maybe college is out. I don't know. If college is out, it might be easy to get home. I don't know. Anyway, but this is Karma Queen, and this song's called Burn Book on All WNY. ThinkSoJoE Show. This one.
Go on and tell the story how you want to. Won't burn your house down to be petty, but I'll set your life on fire if you let me. As the ashes pile from the flames, since the clear blue sky still remains, but I'll set your life on fire if you let me. You're scared to ask it. Afraid to hear the truth, but you're looking past it. Can't help it if you hate it. A version of me you created, aggravated by the crash of this foundation. I won't burn your house down to be petty, but I'll set your life on fire if you let me. Ashes pile from the flames, since the clear blue sky still remains, but I'll set your life on fire if you let me. A flash of urgency, an undecided youth, a clash of apathy, snapped right at the truth. Won't burn your house down to be petty, the ashes pile from the flames. Space a clear blue sky still remains. But I'll set your life on fire if you let me. If you let me. If you let me. If you let me. If you let me.
That was Karma Queen on all WNY. Think So Joe show. That song called Burn Book. That was the third time we've played that song on this show.
Third time?
Yeah, it actually tells me how many times I've played a song like in a DJ set. So it's the first time we're playing Cooler. It's the first time we're playing Crown Conscious. It's the first time we're playing the next band that we're playing at the end of the show. Third time we're playing that particular song from Karma Queen. Because I didn't bother to look to see if we've played it before. I was just like, click.
They're so nice.
I love that band. They're amazing people, and
They're great. They're
we did
really good people.
Annie and I traded T-shirts at Music Is Art. I got a Karma Queen T-shirt. She got a Living Brain Dead T-shirt. So
She scared me. She came up to me like, good set. Like, oh, hi. Sorry, I'm a little lost right now. I can't find anybody.
They're so humble too, like every time, because like they are one of those bands, right? Like we see these kind of bands all the time where we're just like, this is a band that makes you like want to quit music because you know you're never going to be as good as them, right? And especially Annie's up there with a fucking 8-string guitar, finger picking, fucking playing playing these amazingly intricate patterns, and I'm just sitting here like, I play power chords. You know, like and like anytime I'm around her, I say, whoever I'm talking to, I'm like, this is the kind of band, this is the band that when you see them, you just go, I don't want to play music anymore. I'm never going to be that good. And she just every single time, no, you guys are so good. You guys are like, you guys have stage presence. You guys can rock. You guys can you know, and I see these metal guys up there and they're playing all these intricate solos and like, I can't do that. I'm like, no, but you're up there playing fucking No Scrubs on an 8-string guitar, finger picking it like it's nothing. You know, like that's, and you're having a good time doing it, and that's what fucking counts. You know what I mean? Like if I see a band having a good time on stage, I'm having a good time. That's what I was telling you. This is what we were talking about, because we played a new song on Saturday night, and we were talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, who cares if we fuck it up?
We didn't though.
We didn't. We nailed it. But I'm like, who cares if we fuck it up? As long as we were having a good time doing it, people are gonna have a good time. And we got, you know, we didn't fuck it up. We played it really well, but
We didn't tell anybody that was our last song.
I apparently Jill said we had 2 songs left, but I didn't.
Yeah, she did say that, but
Yeah. But like we just ended and people are just expecting us to play more, because that is not an ending song. But like
I hit the snare and that was it, and it got quiet.
Yeah, that's the last time we're ending a set with that song, I think. But
I think we keep the same song that we always end it with.
yeah, no, I
Truth.
liked the set. Like there was a good energy to the set, but it was just
Yeah.
like that was not the best ending, I don't think. But I understand why it was the last song this time around. But yeah, but yeah, I mean, as long as the band is having a good time, I don't give a fuck how good they are.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, I mean, yeah, obviously I want to like the music, but like if the band is up there and they're having a fucking blast and they miss a note or two, I ain't fucking noticing that.
You guys are really, because the first band that played, yeah, the bass player came in. You guys are really good.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't hear me, but I went to the guy. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. You
I
guys
know
are
we
good
got
too.
like I said before you got here, we got a guy on Instagram shooting us messages, and he's like, dude, you guys' set was awesome on Saturday night. When are you guys coming back?
Yeah.
We're just like, we're on break right now, bro.
This
He's like,
was
oh
our
man,
last
really?
show.
That's so long. Like, and Jill and I are just like, 3 months is not long.
No, it's not long.
Like, we're gonna be back in March. It's not like we're gone for good. Like, just, you know, listen to Bar Whore on repeat until we fucking put out another song or something, you know?
We gotta write more new material.
That's the
That's why we're
plan.
taking the break.
That's the plan.
Get better, get better, get better, get better.
Yeah. Come out and fucking nail it in March, and then we're gonna start playing other places besides Buffalo and
Right.
trying not to burn out our audience here. That's it's a fucking. We're at a stage where we don't want to play every fucking Buffalo show. You know what I mean? Like we're like, okay, we've done the Buffalo thing. Buffalo knows us.
Yeah.
We need to go elsewhere and get people like, yo, that band is fucking amazing, right? Like. That's my goal, man. My goal every fucking time we play a show, and I'm sorry to all the other bands we play with, my goal on every fucking show is to be the best fucking band on the bill. To be the band that people are fucking talking about when they leave. I'm getting these Instagram messages like, you guys are so good, and we're seeing people we don't know fucking sharing our videos and shit. Like, like holy shit, man, people actually do fucking like us. Like, you know, but my goal. Every time I take a stage, I don't give a fuck where the stage is. I don't give a fuck what band we're on the bill with. My goal is to be the band everybody is fucking talking about at the end of the night. My band is to make headlining bands be like, oh shit, we should have gone before them. My goal is to have people like, yo, what was the name of that band with the hot chick singer?
That's the best song to talk about.
Let's listen. You know, where are they on Spotify? Let's find their website. Let's follow them on Facebook and fucking Instagram. Let's subscribe to their YouTube. Like,
yeah.
My goal is to be the best fucking band on any fucking show I play. My goal is for people to just go to a show, see us, and be like, yo, that fucking Living Brain Dead band was fucking amazing. Like I said, I don't give a fuck who else is on the bill. My goal is to walk in there and be the band everybody's fucking talking about at the end of the night. And like again, that it doesn't matter if it's bands we've never played with before, like we had on Saturday at Montage. It doesn't matter if it's bands we played with 100 times, like Broken Locker and fucking PGSU. It doesn't matter if it's bands we're best friends with, like XM Priory and Bastard. My goal is to walk in there and be the best fucking band on that bill and have people talking about us when we leave. Music is art. That's my goal. Show up. Be the best band of the whole fucking day. So people are like, oh man, yeah, did you see Living Brain Dead? Oh no, we missed him. Oh dude, you missed it. That's my goal. That's what I want. Whenever I play a show, that's my goal. And that should be the goal. That I'm not saying like that's always going to be successful for me. I'm just saying that's my goal. And that should be everybody who's doing this' goal. Like, yeah, you're out here for fun. I get it, man. This is therapy for me to be in this band and playing with these guys and getting to do shows and getting to do all. But my goal at the end of the day is to make you fucking sit here like, why, you know, wow, I haven't heard of this band before. We got to listen to this band. I once tricked someone into following your social medias because he saw my LBD pin and tried to lie and say that they just saw you live recently. Yeah. In Idaho? We've never been to Idaho. I've been through Idaho.
Maybe we need to go.
I guess. I've been through Idaho. Like we drove through like Boise to get to Seattle. When I went to Seattle in 2004. 2000? No, it would have been 2003. 2003, I went to Seattle. And just the whole fucking time we're driving. Oh no, I'm thinking of Montana. We did drive through Idaho. I know that much, but he was trying to get Jasmine's number in Idaho. So he's like, I saw that band live, a couple of weeks ago. Like, yeah, no, you didn't. No. Unless you flew the fuck to Buffalo and saw us and then flew the fuck home. Like, yeah. But yeah, no, I love that though. He's just like trying to hit on you. So he's like, yeah, I saw that band that's on your hoodie.
Like, he doesn't know that he knows the band members. Right.
Just driving through. I'm just thinking of driving through Montana, and my friend, every time we saw a sign that said Butte, he just goes, but.
I mean, if we were in Idaho, we would let Jazzy know that we were there. We were here.
Jasmine would have been there if we were there. Yeah, absolutely. Like, we would have fucking picked Jasmine up to come with us.
You think
Like, oh yeah, did you? And said whatever local venue, and I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, we've not been out that way.
Nice try, Spud. I'll give you 8 for effort.
I can name every single time we've played outside of Buffalo and Niagara Falls. We played at the Photo City Music Hall in Rochester with Green Jello, and we just played at the Montage Music Hall with Oriamnos.
It's been 10 years in the making for me.
Literally, Jasmine, every time she sees a Butte, Montana sign. Imagine you were here and didn't say anything, I'd literally cry. Exactly, we wouldn't do that to you.
No.
You would be the reason we'd be there. we would literally come pick you up like you're coming to the show. Like, we don't give a fuck what else you got coming. You're coming to the show. So I just found out yesterday. I don't know how I just found this out yesterday, but I just found out yesterday one of my very good friends has been hosting a Simpsons podcast for the last 5 years.
Really?
I literally found this out yesterday. I had no idea. None. No clue.
Did they just talk about the Simpsons?
They have 100 and something episodes talking about the Simpsons. They've been doing the show for 5 years. Because her husband liked one of my posts, but he changed his name on social media to like his actual last name.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't what his name was on Facebook until like yesterday. And I saw him like one of my posts and I'm like, oh, did he get a new profile or did he like actually finally change his name to his real name?
Mm-hmm.
So I go on his profile and I'm scrolling down and I'm just looking for comments to see if like somebody replied to him at some point and it's his old name. And I saw like, oh, this is the latest episode of our podcast, and you know, me and Corey did this, and we talked about that, and I'm like, wait a minute. One of my closest friends, like we're not like super close like we used to be, but like, you know, we were like super close in the mid 2000s, but like, you know, we're still friends. I would think she would be like, hey, did you know I host me and my husband host a Simpsons podcast with our kids? Nope. Literally saw the post for the latest episode on his timeline. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I go and I pop on the episode and sure enough, there's my friend Corey talking about, you know, she's shouting out all these people at the beginning of the episode. I'm like, okay, so one, I feel like this talks about the Simpsons as much as Board Wrestling Fan Radio talked about wrestling. Second, how the fuck have they been doing this for 5 fucking years? Since 2019, they've been doing this podcast about my favorite show, and I don't know that one of my friends is doing a Simpsons podcast. How have I not been asked to be a guest on this podcast? I'm very confused now. Like I had no clue. I no idea that they did a podcast. So I almost messaged her like, hey, how the fuck did I not know you did a Simpsons podcast with your husband? Like, but then when I went to message her, there was no messages. So I'm like, oh, I'm not going to start a fucking message with like complaining about something. You know? Like maybe I'm just not paying attention. Not even mention it.
Was it a good show?
I didn't listen to the whole thing. I only listened to like the very beginning. They hadn't even gotten into the Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
I was reading because like it was like right before I left for the game yesterday. So I'm sitting here and I'm reading the description and it was like we started the show as a way to do something with our kids. So it was them and their kids used to do the podcast together. And now it's the two of them and one of his friends do the podcast together. And it's like, how the fuck do you guys do a Simpsons podcast? And I don't know. I didn't even know. And like, I know I've talked to her husband. We've met. We've hung out. Like at Music is Art, we were hanging out. And then we've seen each other at a bunch of shows since then. Like, I'm over here talking to the two of them. I don't know that they're doing a Simpsons podcast.
What's the name of their show?
So it's come to this, a Simpsons family podcast.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to have to like listen to some episodes now because like I had no fucking clue they were doing a Simpsons podcast. And they're shouting out people in the beginning of the show and I'm like, I know who that guy is. Like they shouted out Don Johnson. I'm like, that's Karina's sister's boyfriend. Like, I know who that guy is. Or at least he was. I don't know if he still is, but like, yeah, I'm like, I'm like, I know the people they're shouting out.
Yeah.
I know 2 of the 3 people hosting this podcast. How did I not know this was a thing? I don't understand it. I love The Simpsons. Madison and I were talking about The Simpsons last night because Dewey was trying to get me to play Roblox.
Yeah.
He said, so he posted that Welcome to Joe's Barbecue is now a background music you can put into the game Roblox.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a whole thing in the comments. So Dewey was like, Joe should start a barbecue themed world in Roblox. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't talked to Allison in a while, so I don't know what her status is. I asked Karina how she was doing, and that was, the most update I got. Oh, she's not doing too great. Like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, but hopefully she gets better from whatever she's dealing with. So, but anyway, so Dewey's like, Joe should start a barbecue themed world in Roblox and have this as the background music. And Leland goes, no, we've been trying to get him to play Fortnite forever. And so he's not going to play Roblox. And Dewey's like, oh, well, what if they brought like Simpsons characters into Roblox or into Fortnite? And I'm like, or Leland said that. And I'm like, no, you're not making me fall for that again. That's how my kid got me to play Minecraft. Is because they released Simpson skins in Minecraft. So, yeah, no, I'm not falling for it. My initial comment on the post was, this is the joke that never ends.
Oh, God, don't play that.
It is. This joke has been going on for so fucking long now. I don't even know when it started. This
is a song that never...
It's been going on, and I got this fucking thing right here to prove it.
It was broken. So I fixed
yeah,
it.
my other one is broken now, so I gotta fix that. But I was thinking of just putting the Christmas tree on one of these, but I figure one of us might accidentally
the
bump
big
into
one
it.
I want is already trashed.
Yeah.
Came apart.
Jasmine saw a picture of my Christmas tree yesterday. I sent it to her. She says, "Is it gonna be in the shot of the podcast?" I said, "Nah. I don't know. I couldn't figure that one out, so we're just gonna put it off to the side." So my Christmas tree's over here.
Christmas falls on a
Wednesday.
Yeah, how are we? Yeah, we won't be live that day.
You might not be. I'll figure it out. We did the first video episode that we did live on YouTube was on Christmas.
Really?
It was on Christmas, and I gave Karina Rick Astley "Never Gonna Give You Up" on vinyl, like a 45. She was not happy about it. Then I was like, no, that's a joke gift. Brian suggested that. Here's your real gift, and I gave her whatever fucking Glassjaw record is in the stacks here. I don't even know the name of it. I fucking hate Glassjaw. They are like, I like them until the fucking vocalist opens his fucking mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, what is the song that she's always listening to from Glassjaw? So I went on Glassjaw's fucking, I'm gonna say Spotify just as a generalized term here. I went on their Spotify and I played through every fucking song on there until I found the one that I knew was the one that she was always listening to, and I bought that fucking album for her for Christmas. So I gave her the Rick Astley as a joke, and then I gave her the Glassjaw. So the next year the show was, I think, the day before Christmas, we had a podcast. And I was like, okay, I showed the clip from the previous year.
Yeah.
Where I gave her the Rick Astley record, and I cut it off before I gave her the Glassjaw. So it was just like, yeah, I thought I was giving you the gift of music. I thought it was a good gift. I guess I was wrong. But, this year, I got something better for you. And I go, for you wrestling fans out there, ladies and gentlemen, Elias from Nonpoint. And it's fucking Elias from Nonpoint singing off the top of his head, Karina, Karina, like, Like it was a cameo that I bought, and it came out better than I fucking ever would have imagined. Like, shout out to Elias from fucking Nonpoint, because like I was not expecting that. Unlike when I got Krista Makes from Less Than Jake the following year, and he was just making fun of me. It was because I sent it after Christmas, because like we like she was spending a lot of time at her mom's by the following Christmas, and I was like, oh, here's a gift, and I sent her Krista Makes, like, yeah, Joe's too lazy to fucking get you a Christmas present, so here I am, so, something like that, By the way, Krista Makes a podcast, great fucking podcast. If you're into music production and just find an episode where he's talking about a song you like, and he'll be there, he'll talk to the writer of the song and just break down how the song came about. And like, I was just listening before the show to he was talking to Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach about Last Resort. Yeah, a great podcast, one of my favorites. So definitely, if you're looking for a good podcast, I highly recommend Krista Makes a Podcast. Also, One Song with Diallo Riddle and Luxury, one of my favorites. They're all going to be second to my absolute favorite podcast, which is The Ongoing History of New Music with Alan Cross.
Yeah.
And also his second podcast now, which is Uncharted, Crime and Mayhem in the Music Industry.
Yep.
So those are like all my favorite podcasts, if you guys are looking for podcasts to listen to, besides this one. So Merry Christmas. Go enjoy other people's work too. Especially Alan Cross. Alan Cross is, I fucking love his show. Ever since I was a kid and he was on 102.1.
Yeah.
Like out of Canada, like I would hear his show, and just like now it's in podcast form and I can listen to it whenever I want, and I'm so happy about it. But anyway, we got to get out of here. It's getting late. So we're going to play a song from a band that is playing on Tuesday next week. Tuesday, December 10th at 7 p.m. at Milky's on Elmwood, 522 Elmwood Avenue in Buffalo. Somebody asked us if we want to play there, and we're just like, no. Look, I got nothing against Ryan Gurnett, like on a personal level, like we're professional rivals and shit, but that shit's all for show. I got nothing against Ryan Gurnett, but fucking Milky's, the 2 times I played there are the worst 2 fucking shows I've ever played. So no. You say Milky's, the answer is immediately no. Anyway, but I'm sure it'll go better for these 4 bands. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not on this show, so it's not going to be a fucking miserable time, I guess. But anyway, this is Tuesday, December 10th, 7 p.m., 21 plus, $10. Previous Love, Wakely, Amphobia, and Pink Droid are playing at Milky's. So that sounds like a good time. And this is Previous Love. The song is called On a Sunday on all WNY ThinkSoJoE show.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I did it right.
You did it right. All right, let's go. Previous Love. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
stripes on this old life too.